Petitions. Okay, right. We do have one, right? We have the implementation and the operation of the blue bag recycling scheme. We do have one speaker. Okay, and Sheila Dar, and I will bring her forward, right? And Sheila, you'll have 5 minutes to address the cabinet, and I'll make sure, right? I'll try to answer as many of the points and questions you can today. If not, we can arrange a separate meeting for us to have a discussion and to take things forward with you as well. And your time will start when you start.
Good morning, everyone. You're all aware of the 3,422 signatures petitioning the council to cancel the blue bags and return to the single blue bin bag for recycling. This is mainly due to the poor quality of the blue bags, their inefficiency to improve or encourage recycling. The exact wordings of the petition is before you. The blue bag scheme is not working. Replace it. The petition was started by a resident due to the anxiety of her elderly parents. They became concerned about putting the wrong things in the wrong bin bags and the consequences of not having their bin bag collected. I will cover council-assisted bin services later. The blue bag scheme is not a new initiative. It's an unworkable extension of the existing blue bin scheme, which was working to make it look clever. On to GDPR. These bags are easy picking for thieves looking to steal personal data. Identity fraud is rife and one of the most increasing crimes recorded on the police register. I suspect someone will say, use a shredder and then put into the bag. Most people don't have access to a shredder. Junk mail is almost always discarded without opening. Will council-assisted services offer to tear up junk for the elderly and the less abled? Shredded paper will make a bigger mess when it flies out of the bag, as can be seen with the contents and the blue bags littering the streets of Brent. In any event, is the council aware that the shredded paper cannot be recycled, but is still being put into bags and it's still being collected by the bin men? Residents will have more paper, cardboard than can be recycled under the bag scheme. This will encourage fly tipping. People will be unable to store it, and this will affect the entire borough. It is absolutely clear that the bag scheme is strongly opposed to by the residents. The council must agree that this bag scheme is not working and an alternative must be found. I see from the Brent Council that there is a review expected later in the year. The council needs to bring this back to the table immediately for discussion and factor in feedback from the residents. Are the council aware of the schemes that are being run in other boroughs? What research has been done in using templates of boroughs that are successful? And by successful, I mean having a lot of support from the residents, as that's the only way to save money and improve recycling targets. Have the council considered split bins using the existing blue bins, adding removable dividers? Why can we not use the existing blue bins for the cardboard and paper and use a smaller bin for tins, glass, plastic? I want to share with you what the residents in your borough are saying. The following are random comments taken from the Nextdoor platform. I insist on recycling, but this bag is ridiculous. Once it's full, which it becomes under a week, what do I do with the rest of my cardboard? I've had to put it in the grey bin, which I don't want to do. Someone stole my bag and dumped the contents in the corner of the street. I am now terrified that if there is anything with my name and address on it and the littering team find it, I will be fined. This happened to my neighbour and she was fined £400. Anyone know a Mr. K. Siddiqui in Clarendon Gardens? I've got half of his recycling out of this dreadful bag in my drive following the bin collection this morning. Mr. S., do you want it back? Due to my disabilities, I can't carry my bag once it's full, and it always is, or have the strength to break down the cardboard boxes so they fit into the bag. I have to wait for my husband to come home, ask my neighbour in his 80s to help. The bin men left cardboard in the bottom of the bag. It rained, now it's soggy and even heavier. We have assisted collection because of our age. The bin men hate having to empty the bag, and it shows. They constantly leave my bin bag in a disarray, and they have to do is walk a few more steps. I've complained. What can I do? The bin men have to lift these bags to empty them. How long before the claims start flooding in for damaged bags? I saw bin men dragging the bags to the bin lorry and lifting them up before emptying them with difficulty. And the council expect householders to take them in and out of their homes. I repeat, the present blue bag scheme is not working. Replace it. Thank you.
Sheila, thank you very much for that. It's always appreciated when residents take the time, the opportunity to raise some of the issues and concerns they have. As you know, right, that the council has committed itself to the climate emergency and the motion that we passed at full council. We also have a commitment to obtain and attain net zero by 2030 in line with the government requirements as well. We're also working with the council and the officers and our residents, right, to make sure that we attain the commitment to net zero as well. And the changes that we have proposed as part of the blue bag is about actually trying to increase recycling rates within the borough. And the issue about some of the points you have made in relation to the poor design and poor quality, I can assure you, right, the officers have addressed those concerns with our suppliers, right, and that's absolutely being addressed in relation to the quality, right, and we're making sure that those bags that have had any issues will be replaced. When it comes to the bags being full, right, we've now also opened up the opportunity to residents to have second bags as well. And the thing is, right, you may say, and I totally understand the point you made about the 3,422 people that have signed the petition. Since the first fortnight in October, we've had a 264% increase in the amount of recycling, right, in paper and cardboard, right, from the first 2 weeks, right. So we've seen a steady week on increase in the amount of people who are using that service, right, and are continuing to use the service. And even in the current times, in the current weather conditions, the issue about sort of the moisture getting into the bags. I can assure you the officers have been working with our contractors, Veolia, and when the bags have been emptied, there has not been an issue, right, in relation to the contamination, the moisture, and everything else going forward. Right, the review that you mentioned, right, is a review that we said that we will do from the beginning when we introduced the blue bags. And I think it's only right that we have reviews built into any system and any process and any change that we introduce, right, so that we can always take a look at what is working, what needs to be done, and what needs to be changed. When that review takes place later on in the year, if any changes do need to be made, we can take a look at making those changes. We do need to have a body of evidence, right, and that means, right, continuing with the process of what we've started. We're not the only council actually in London or anywhere else that is beginning to introduce the blue bags type scheme. Right, and I think what you will find is that a lot more councils will be looking to introduce the same system, the same process that we've introduced, right? Because one, you know, it does come back to the point about trying to increase the recycling rates. Right, and I think our residents would be expecting us, right, to take a look at what we can do in trying to recycle and reuse some of that waste as well. And One of the things we are looking at and we're looking to do is to generate some income, right, from the recycled cardboard and the paper, so that we can utilize some of that income, right, to offset some of the £8 million worth of cuts, and then the £13 million of pressures that we're facing within the council as well, right, and also. You have to bear in mind, right, since 2010, the council has gone through some significant financial challenges, and the council officers are being challenged to come up with new ways, new ideas, new suggestions, and we're also facing the added pressure, as I said, about trying to increase the recycling rates as well. And I know people do want us to do what we can in order to make sure, right, that we have an environment where we can actually sort of keep to the commitments we made as part of our climate emergency commitments, and also the net zero, and just generally just trying to make sure the issue about waste and recycling is kept at the top of the agenda. I do want to say thank you to yourselves and for everyone who's participated in the petition. I'm more than happy to follow this up with another conversation later on, and I think we do need to allow this transition to continue for a while, so that we have that evidence that allows us to make sort of meaningful changes if and when required. Thank you very much.